Hello and welcome tankers to World of Tanks with PR154. We're doing something a little bit different in this episode. We're looking at a couple of the more competitive and stronghold advances type of games. We're here in Lakeville following the RAWR clan, and they are matched up in an advance against VAM. These are two quite evenly matched teams. We've got VAM have an ELO rating of 833 and RAWR are at 845. So as far as their skills and capabilities and competitive play are concerned, they're quite evenly matched. So we're following Ghost in his FV4005 Stage II. Straight out the gate we can see we've got 60 TPs in corridor blocking positions, and fantastic shot there by Ghost, shutting down Hexaflex in the EBR 105. That's going to significantly impair their scouting abilities. Even more so now that Killer Romeo in his EBR 105 has been able to take down Taggles in the other EBR 105. So this only not even a minute in, and the RAWR clan have complete advantage of eyeballs. So back to the setups, we've had the EBRs sort of scouting the mid, and they've been able to execute that anti-scout role quite perfectly, although having a laser-guided shell from an FV4005 Stage II certainly helps matters. 60 TPs in blocking positions on the corridor, but most of the forces are concentrated in this area. This game was carried out the evening of the version 1.13 patch drop. And so you might notice this could be just a competitive play factor, but he's not actually carrying any high explosive shells. But then it's probably not a massive priority for an FV4005 Stage II in an advanced scenario to be carrying high explosive shells. Even after the patch, I've certainly found I've been carrying less high explosive in my FV4005. We are also taking 2 artillery pieces as well. I'm not actually sure whether this is the first game or a subsequent game, but in advances in your subsequent games, you know which maps you're going to get, so you can sort of plan your loadout and your strategy to suit. So it's been a little bit static the last minute and a half, but we're starting to see a bit of movement in the map here with the Object 277 moving down the 0 line. And the thing about seeing one Object 277 is there's very rarely just one of them. But they've rolled right into this concentration of VAM forces, and that's where this position that Ghost is in, it becomes quite powerful, because without pressing their advantage, without pressing sort of behind this rock here, the VAM forces are now subject to this absolutely horrendous crossfire from Ghost. He's already at nearly 4,000 damage, and he has a lot of HESH rounds left in the vehicle. So again, we just see tanks sort of pushing back past this rock and just straight into his line of fire. It's a horrendous amount of damage that's being caused. You can also see the artillery pieces are joining the fight as well, and sort of keeping these tanks suppressed. So not a good place at all to sort of get bottled up, because I'm not quite sure what they could have done in this situation. Possibly retreated to the city and let the RAWR clan come to them. But I mean, as it is, they're sort of 5,000, 6,000 hit points down. So this is just by sheer weight of hit points, it's not looking favourable for the VAM clan. I suppose even if they had pulled into the city, and this is where I'm a bit uncomfortable playing in the city sometimes, because if your enemy has control of this lane here, which they would have, having taken the light tanks out within the first minute of the game, they would have just been able to just resume their crossfire from a different sort of position. Granted, there might have been half a chance that the FV4005 will have been spotted. We can see the VAM medium tanks have been able to make a breakthrough on the 2 line, but the Batchat 25T meets its fate in the face of a HESH round from Ghost. This leaves the EBR 105, a GWE 100, and Ghost facing off against the Object 907. Is already starting to look a little bit unhealthy in the face of incoming HESH rounds, and is taken out for 598 hit points. And that is the game for Ghost. Let's take a look at how he did. A victory for the RAWR clan, but wow, what a horrendous amount of damage there. Over 11,500 damage inflicted. He's caused 5 kills upon the enemy team there, including the EBR very early in the game that was made a crucial contribution to RAWR's success there and in taking eyes out of the game. And otherwise, a very good spread of damage between the team here, but 11,500 in the FV4005 Stage II is not too much more you can say about that other than wow. So well done to Ghost and well done to RAWR, and many thanks to VAM for their permission in uploading and commentating on this replay as well. Returning to the VAM clan, they were kind enough to send me this replay of a fight in which I was actually on the opposite side, helping out an up-and-coming clan by the name of CMOB. So they're quite new to the Skirmish scene. A lot of their new players are they're just unlocking their first Tier 6 vehicle, and so they're just getting to grips with the game, getting to grips with the competitive play and that sort of thing. So it was an absolute pleasure to swing by and help them out, and hopefully give them some ideas for the future. But we loaded in on Serene Coast and were met with this fearsome sight, absolutely fearsome sight. 6 TOG IIs, of course with the support of the obligatory AMX-12T. So I was trying to call this game for the other side, and so I thought, well, they're going to be moving slowly, so we'll have a bit of time to work out where they were. So I had my Type 64. I was coming around here to try to spot them from a bit of a distance. We had another T-3485M set up in here, also trying to give us some early warning, and the rest of the team was sort of in behind here, just ready to sort of break out and engage however they could. But my goodness, what a frightening display of power and hit points. I've actually been playing the TOG II in randoms a lot lately, and I mean, granted the turbocharger helps. So here's that moment where I've popped over the ridge and seen this unholy trail of hit points. Can see some fire incoming from the Chaos Mob team, and the TOGs are starting to spread out. AMX-12T moving ahead of the pack to try to spot some targets. Obviously, being heavy tanks, view range is not one of their primary skills. We've been able to get some of our tanks to sort of spread out and try to get side shots, but in hindsight, having much deployed over here was probably not wise. Tanks in the back here are starting to break out and engage the TOGs, but there is just a horrendous amount of hit points. Like, look at this. The Chaos Mob team is just under 5,000 hit points at the moment, and there's over 9,000 hit points with a similar percentage loss at this stage. While we were able to wear down the hit points on Jacques somewhat, it was just nowhere near enough. Buzz Junkie in the KV2 and Maverick in the T3485M, taking up firing positions, but like each one of these tanks has got the same gun as the Sherman Firefly, the 17-pounder. Not that Hub is firing a lot of gold, but you can get up to 239 millimeters of penetration with the APCR on the TOG II. So when you're loosing a shot down range every couple of seconds with that order of penetration, you can expect to do a lot of damage to an enemy team. So they inexorably crawl these TOGs into our cap circle. This was an extremely frightening prospect to be facing on the other team. Sergeant Squeege is able to make an appearance through the rocks, but is facing down. That sort of firepower and hit points is going to be difficult. The best the Chaos Mob team can do at this stage is to try to sort of poke in and get some resets without being shot in turn. But again, the guns on these TOG IIs, they have a high rate of fire, they're accurate. Even if you're on the move, it doesn't really matter because you move so damn slow that you really don't disperse all that much. So you just hold down that W key and try to get into position. We're left with Wet Invader of the Muppets and Morons clan, who was also kind enough to support Chaos Mob on this in this particular skirmish as a Legionnaire. He had quite a few good games with us that night. But of course, chasing down anything in a TOG II, much less another medium tank, is going to be difficult. Going to be difficult at the best of times. But yeah, this is seeing quite a resurgence of Tier 6 skirmish on the ANZ server at the moment, which is awesome. Like we've seen possibly around a dozen clans getting up on a Thursday night. So yeah, if you're part of a clan and you're thinking about engaging in some entry level competitive play, Tier 6 skirmish is a fantastic way to do it. It's basically 7 versus 7. Using Tier 6 tanks. Most of the go-to tanks are like your T3485s, Cromwells, or the premium versions. Type 64, a fantastic Tier 6 skirmish tank. It's easily sort of the best light tank at Tier 6, but if you don't feel like buying a premium tank, the AMX 12T as Mad Aussie 1968's driving is also highly useful for skirmish. And the coup de grace, they elect to drop artillery on Wet Invader, and he dies to a ammo rack from skirmish artillery. Absolutely brutal play by the VAM clan in a 6-gun TOG II element. And if you'd like to see one of your replays featured on World of Tanks with PR154, please get in touch over Discord or any of the links below, and we'll do our best to sort you out. Take care out there.